Good afternoon, I'm Don Matthews with We the People News. And today, I'm going to tell you about a phone call that exposed the rot at the heart of Mississippi's prison system. Not the kind of rot you can smell. Not the kind that makes headlines when prisoners die from neglect, though that happens too. This is a different kind of decay. The constitutional kind. The kind that happens when the people we trust to run our prisons decide that prisoner rights are negotiable, optional, inconvenient. On October 22nd at 3:38 in the afternoon, I made 2 phone calls to the Mississippi Department of Corrections. By 3:41, I had recorded evidence of exactly how a government office protects itself when confronted with constitutional violations it doesn't want to fix. What you're going to hear isn't just bureaucratic incompetence. It's the sound of a system that is learned through practice, through repetition, through years of getting away with it. How to look like it's doing something while doing absolutely nothing. This is the story of a missing box. A simple metal box that costs maybe $50 and takes 20 minutes to install. And how the absence of that box enables abuse, silences victims, and makes the Constitution disappear behind prison walls. Let me set the scene for you. I've been investigating conditions at the Delta Correctional Facility for weeks. Multiple sources, consistent stories, and one problem that kept coming up. Prisoners at Delta have no way to file grievances confidentially, no way to request legal help without a guard watching, no way to report abuse without handing the complaint directly to the people they're complaining about. That's not a minor administrative issue. That's a constitutional violation. The Supreme Court said so in 1977 in Bounds v. Smith. Prisoners retain the right to access the courts. And in 1994, in Farmer v. Brennan, prison officials can't be deliberately indifferent to known risk of serious harm. So I picked up the phone and I called the commissioner's office. Got a woman who said, "This is the commissioner's office, sir. How can we help you?" And I told her everything. The missing boxes, the broken procedures, the fear of retaliation. I laid it out, point by point. Legal citations, policy references. I know this stuff. I've done this work. I understand what constitutional compliance looks like. I spoke for over a minute. Detailed, specific, verifiable. And when I finished, you know what she said? "Just a moment. This is a switchboard. Hold. And then, I need to send you to the commissioner's office." I was already talking to the commissioner's office. She had told me explicitly, "This is the commissioner's office." And after listening to documented constitutional violations for over a minute, her response was to send me to the commissioner's office. I said what anyone would say. "Jesus, you said it was the commissioner's office. Waste of my time." And that's where the first call ended. Routed to voicemail. A detailed report of systematic constitutional violations delivered to the appropriate office, acknowledged, and redirected into bureaucratic void. That's when I understood something. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't some receptionist having a bad day. This was the system, working exactly as designed. Absorb the complaint. Acknowledge just enough to seem responsive. Then make sure it never reaches anyone with the authority or the willingness to do anything about it. I called back. 3 minutes later, 3:41 p.m. But this time, I changed the script. So this is Don Matthews with We the People News. I'm going to run an article on this. If Burl Cain, the commissioner, doesn't get on the phone with me or call me back before 5 o'clock, I'm going to run an article. Watch what happens when you add accountability to the equation. The same office that had just routed me to voicemail suddenly started engaging. Not warmly, not enthusiastically, but substantively. Because now there was a deadline. Now there was public exposure. Now there were consequences. The woman asked, "Are you a news reporter, Don?" Not, "What's the problem?" Not, "Tell me more about these allegations." But, "Are you a news reporter?" That's threat assessment. That's an institution calculating what level of response is required. And folks, that calculation tells you everything about what motivates government action. Not the severity of the constitutional violation, not the urgency of the problem, but the potential for public embarrassment. I told her again, everything. The missing ILAP boxes, that's Inmate Legal Assistance Program. The absent grievance boxes. The mail system, where prisoners have to hand everything directly to guards. The fear of retaliation so pervasive that even people who haven't personally experienced problems are afraid to speak up. And this time, I got a different response. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to our communications department. Of course, because when you have documented constitutional violations, the appropriate response is the communications department. Not investigation, not immediate corrective action, but public relations. I stopped her. Listen, I wasn't calling asking you for comment. I was calling to report an issue. And finally, I got something resembling commitment. I'll have them look into the ILAP procedure over at Delta Correctional, she said. Look into. Not investigate. Not fix. Not immediately ensure constitutional compliance. Just look into. She said it multiple times. I will have someone look into it. I don't know if it's an issue or not, but I'll have someone look into it. Folks, after hearing detailed, specific allegations of constitutional violations I could cite chapter and verse from the Supreme Court precedent and MDOC's own internal policies, the official response was still, I don't know if it's an issue or not. It's not uncertainty. That's plausible deniability. That's leaving yourself room to do nothing while appearing concerned. Let me tell you about my source. She's incarcerated at Delta Correctional Facility. She's never had problems with guards. No disciplinary issues. No personal grievances. She's not some troublemaker looking to cause problems. She's someone trying to survive her sentence and get home. And she's terrified to have her name attached to this report. Why? Because she knows, everyone knows, that speaking up inside a prison carries consequences. Even when you're reporting procedural violations that don't personally affect you. Even when you're just confirming that grievance boxes don't exist. Even when you're telling the truth that the system doesn't want told. I told the commissioner's office about this, about the fear, about a woman who has experienced no problems but understands that transparency is dangerous. And you know what that fear is? It's evidence. It testifies to the institutional culture at Delta Correctional Facility, more reliably than any policy manual would. In functional systems, reporting problems is encouraged. It's treated as quality control feedback. In dysfunctional systems, in abusive systems, reporting marks you as someone who doesn't understand the rules. The unwritten rules. The real rules. The rules that say keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, and don't make waves. When the commissioner's office representative finally understood what I was describing, she asked, "So the ILAP procedure, there's no box? They have to hand it to an actual correctional officer? Is that what you're saying?" Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Imagine you need to file a complaint about a guard. Maybe he's confiscated your legal materials. Maybe he's been verbally abusive. Maybe you witnessed him beat another inmate. You have the constitutional right to file a grievance. Mississippi Department of Corrections Policy 20-0-8 says so. The Supreme Court says so. But there's no box. There's no confidential submission system. There's no way to file your complaint without walking up to a guard, maybe the guard you're complaining about. Certainly, a guard who works with the guard you're complaining about, and handing it over while he watches, while he reads it, while he decides what happens next. That's not a grievance system. That's a retaliation delivery mechanism. I asked the questions that should embarrass every official at Mississippi Department of Corrections. All the money y'all pull in, y'all can't afford boxes at the units? Metal boxes with locks. Maybe $50 each. 20-minute installation. 0 ongoing maintenance. The absence of these boxes cannot be explained by budget constraints. It can only be explained by institutional choice. Someone, many someones, decided that functional grievance systems are not a priority. That prisoner complaints are nuisances to be managed, not addressed, or not feedback to be addressed. Near the end of our conversation, I said I want to speak to Commissioner Burl Cain. Burl Cain, Commissioner of the Mississippi Department of Corrections, the man ultimately responsible for constitutional compliance at every facility under Mississippi Department of Corrections supervision. The person who should be most concerned when systematic violations are documented. The response? He's not in the office right now. Of course he's not. Commissioners are never in when accountability comes calling. They're available for ribbon cuttings, for legislative testimony about budget needs, for tough-on-crime press conferences. But when a journalist with a deadline wants to discuss constitutional violations, suddenly, nobody's available. The representative said, "I'll pass him the message that you want to speak to him, but he's not in the office right now. But I wrote your number down. If he wants to speak to you, he'll call you back." If he wants to speak to you. Not he will call you back. Not he'll address this immediately. But if he wants to. Folks, I gave them until 5 o'clock. In fact, I gave them probably an extra day, well, close to an extra day. This was yesterday. My deadline was explicit. The article would run with or without Commissioner Kane's response. 5 o'clock came and went. No call. No follow-up. No statement from Commissioner Kane's office. Just silence. The kind of silence that communicates institutional priorities louder than any press release could. Let me be clear about something. I'm not making moral arguments here. I'm not appealing to compassion or decency, though those would be nice. I'm talking about constitutional law, binding Supreme Court precedent, requirements that aren't optional, negotiable, or subject to budget constraints. In 1977, the Supreme Court decided Bounds versus Smith. They held that prisoners must have meaningful access to the courts, not theoretical access, not access that exists in policy manuals, but meaningful, functional, realistic access. In 1996, Lewis versus Casey refined that standard. The court said prison officials can't erect procedural barriers that effectively nullify access rights. When the only way to file a legal assistance request is to hand it to a guard who might view your legal sophistication as a threat, that's not meaningful access. That's procedural barrier designed to discourage exercise of constitutional rights. In 1994, Farmer versus Brennan established the deliberate indifference standard. Prison officials violate the Eighth Amendment when they know about substantial risk of serious harm and choose to do nothing. As of October 22nd, at 3:41 p.m., Commissioner Burl Kane's office knows. They received detailed documentation. They acknowledged the problem. They promised to look into it. Every day, they fail to fix it. Every day, those boxes remain absent. The deliberate indifference becomes more deliberate. The constitutional violation becomes more flagrant. And here's the thing that should concern every Mississippian. Mississippi Department of Corrections has its own internal policy requiring this stuff. Policy 20-0-8, Administrative Remedy Program, mandates accessible, confidential grievance procedures. So this isn't even about MDOC disagreeing with constitutional requirements. They've acknowledged them. They've written them into internal policy. They just don't implement them. The policy exists to create plausible deniability. When sued, Mississippi Department of Corrections can point to policy 20-0-8 and say, see, we have procedures. But policy without implementation is fiction. It's a document that protects the institution while abandoning the prisoners. Delta Correctional Facility isn't unique. That's what makes this worse. You remember Parchman? Where they sent me? Mississippi State Penitentiary? The place that made national headlines for conditions so horrific that federal courts had to intervene. Where prisoners died from neglect, violence, and systematic indifference. Those weren't isolated incidents. They were symptoms of systemic MDOC dysfunction. And when Parchman got too much attention, when federal oversight became unavoidable, you know what happened? The problems didn't disappear. They migrated to quieter facilities, to places like Delta that don't attract headlines, to locations where systematic violations can continue without the inconvenience of federal monitors and consent decrees. That's sophisticated institutional strategy. When one facility faces scrutiny, you don't fix the system. You move the problem somewhere less visible. This is why my source's fear matters so much. She's at Delta, not Parchman. She has no personal grievances, but she knows, because everyone inside knows, that the same culture of retaliation and suppression exists. It's just quieter, more procedural, hidden behind absent boxes and missing infrastructure, rather than visible violence. During my call with the commissioner's office, the representative kept saying, I can't see what's going on at Delta. I don't know what's happening with the ILAP procedure out there. I have to have someone look into it. Can't see what's going on. That's willful blindness, codified as policy. The commissioner's office doesn't know about constitutional violations because knowing would require acting. Better to maintain strategic ignorance. Better to rely on looking into it than actually seeing. But here's what they can't claim anymore. They can't say they don't know. I told them, in detail, on recorded calls, with legal citations and policy references and specific factual allegations. The ignorance defense died at 3:41 in the afternoon, October 22nd. Let me bring this back to what it actually means. Not legal theory, not policy analysis, but lived human reality. Right now, today, there's a man or woman at Delta Correctional Facility who needs to file a grievance. Maybe their medical requests are being ignored. Maybe a guard stole their property. Maybe they witnessed another prisoner being beaten and want to report it. They know they have rights. They read them in the inmate handbook. They've seen the policy posted on bulletin boards, on paper, that they can file a grievance. But when they try, they confront the reality. These phone calls document there is no box. So they have two options. Both of them terrible. Option one is to walk up to a guard, hand over their grievance, watch the guard read it, watch the guard's face change as he realizes this prisoner thinks they have rights. Watch the guard look at him differently, and then wait. Wait to see what form the retaliation takes. Lost work assignment, delayed mail, property mysteriously confiscated during the next shakedown, transfer away from that facility, from friends and support. 100 small ways to make life worse, none of them officially connected to that grievance. Option 2, say nothing. Swallow the injustice. Accept that rights exist, in theory, but not in practice. Become complicit in their own silencing. This is the choice that absent boxes create. This is what constitutional violations look like in human terms. And here's the cruelest part. Every prisoner who chooses silence teaches the next prisoner that silence is safer, just like cops that turn a blind eye. Every retaliation confirms that speaking up was a mistake. The system becomes self-perpetuating. The violations suppress the reporting mechanism. The absent reporting mechanism enables more violations. It's abuse architecture. Brilliantly simple. Devastatingly effective. $50. That's what a locked metal grievance box costs. $50. 20 minutes installation time. MDOC's annual budget is over $300 million a year. Commissioner Kane's salary alone could buy thousands of these boxes. The cost is not the barrier. So what is? The only explanation that makes sense is that someone, many someones, benefit from the boxes not existing. Guards benefit. Without secure submission, they control which grievances get processed. That gives them the power, beyond their formal authority. The prisoner who thinks about complaining must calculate. Will this guard even submit my grievance? Will he retaliate? Will he tell other guards that I'm a troublemaker? That discretion is a management tool. It creates dependency. Prisoners must stay in guards' good graces to access even basic procedural rights. Administrators benefit. Without functional grievance systems, problems don't generate documentation. Low grievance numbers can be presented as evidence that everything's fine, that facilities are well managed, that prisoners are content. The alternative? Acknowledging that low numbers reflect suppressed reporting rather than absence of problems would require uncomfortable institutional introspection. MDOC benefits. Every processed grievance creates paperwork. Investigation obligations. Response requirements. Appeal procedures. Potential legal exposure. It's easier to ensure grievances aren't filed than to process them properly. The institutional path of least resistance leads towards suppression rather than resolution. And who pays? The prisoners who can't safely report abuse. The citizens of the state of Mississippi whose tax dollars fund unconstitutional conditions. The Constitution itself, which becomes increasingly meaningless when its protections can be nullified by strategic infrastructure denial. So while I can't do it on this particular recording, I'm not set up to actually play the recording. I'm going to be publishing the article within the hour that's going to have this, actually both recordings. It will be on We the People News, www.wtpnews.org, and I'll also put it on my link tree, which is linktree.com/WTP News, or you can type in linktr.ee/WTP News. But I want you to listen to it. All right? Particularly the second call, October 22nd at 3:41 p.m. The Commissioner's Office responding to documented constitutional violations. I want you to listen to the tone. Professional. Practice. Carefully calibrated to sound responsive without committing to anything concrete. I'll have someone look into it. Not, I'll personally investigate. Not, I'll ensure those boxes are installed by Monday. Not, this is unacceptable and we'll fix it immediately. She wouldn't even give me her name. The only thing, just someone will look into it. Listen to how every commitment gets hedged. Every statement of action gets qualified. Every moment that might create accountability gets deflected. When I pushed back when I said I wasn't asking for a comment, I was reporting an issue. Listen how quickly the conversation shifts to sending me to communications. To reframing this as a media inquiry rather than a constitutional violation. That's not accident. That's institutional muscle memory. That's what happens when a system has confronted external accountability many times and developed sophisticated techniques for managing it. The smooth transitions, the careful language, the practiced deflections. This isn't improvisation. It's a system that knows exactly how to look like it's doing something while doing absolutely nothing. And at the end, when I insisted on speaking with Commissioner Burl Cain, her saying he's not in the office right now, and will, if he wants to speak to me, he will call back. These recordings are evidence, not just of this particular conversation, but of institutional culture. They demonstrate how constitutional violations get maintained through bureaucratic architecture, how complaints get acknowledged but not addressed, how problems get looked into but never fixed. So where does this go? I've done my job. I've documented the violations. I've recorded the institutional response, as I like to say, the institutional rot. I've published the evidence. Now it's time for others to do theirs. First, Commissioner Burl Cain needs to respond, not through a spokesperson, not through the communications department, but personally, on the record, explaining exactly what's happening at Delta Correctional Facility and what he's going to do about it. He has my number. He's had it since October 22nd. The question is whether Mississippi's top correctional official cares enough about constitutional compliance to pick up the telephone. Second, civil rights attorneys need to look at this. The documented violations, the absent boxes, the systematically suppressed grievance access, the institutional indifference captured on recorded calls. That's the foundation for federal civil rights litigation. 42 U.S. Code Section 1983. Civil action for deprivation of rights. When government officials violate constitutional rights under color of law, citizens can sue for damages and injunctive relief. The recordings establish notice. The continued inaction establishes deliberate indifference. And that's the recipe for Eighth Amendment violations with teeth. Third, the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division should investigate. Not just Delta, but the entire Mississippi Department of Corrections system. Because if Delta has these problems, and Parchman had these problems, and I can attest, as of January, still had them, the pattern suggests statewide systematic failure. The Civil Rights of Institutionalized Persons Act authorizes the Department of Justice to investigate state facilities and sue for pattern or practice violations. Mississippi's corrections system has been on DOJ's radar before. Maybe it's time for more than radar. Fourth, Mississippi voters need to decide whether this is acceptable, whether the state that claims to be tough on crime should also be tough on the Constitution. Whether protecting prisoner rights matters, or whether we've decided that incarceration means civil death. Because here's the thing, folks. Constitutional rights don't stop at the prison gate. Prisoners are still citizens, still human beings, still protected by the same founding document that protects all of us. When we allow the government to violate prisoner rights with impunity, we're not just harming them. We're weakening the constitutional framework that protects everyone. So I'll close with this. If a prisoner has a constitutional right, but no safe mechanism to assert it, does the right exist in any meaningful sense? That's not a rhetorical question. That's the practical reality at Delta Correctional Facility right now. On paper, prisoners have rights. In the Inmate Handbook, in MDOC Policy 20-0-8, in Supreme Court precedent, the rights exist. But without boxes to submit grievances confidentially, without ILAP request mechanisms that don't require guard approval, without mail systems that don't route everything through custody staff, without the infrastructure that makes rights function. Those paper protections become constitutional fiction. Pretty words with no practical meaning. Delta's answer seems to be no. The right doesn't exist in any meaningful sense. It exists as appearance, as plausible deniability, as something to point to when sued, but not a lived reality. The Constitution's answer has to be different. Because if we accept that government can acknowledge rights while ensuring they cannot be safely exercised, then we've accepted that rights are optional, negotiable, subject to institutional convenience. And once you establish that principle for prisoners, the most politically powerless people in our society, how long before it expands? How long before other inconvenient rights become subject to the same procedural suppression? I want you to let that resonate for a second. So it's been a day now since I made the call. Been a day now since MDOC promised to look into it. But how long is too long when this is going on, and it's been going on for a long time? The silence from Jackson has been deafening. We've already dealt with the issue regarding the governor's mansion and the assault by the Mississippi State Trooper, the silence and the complicity out of the governor's office right there. No return phone call. No public statement. No announcement of corrective action. No evidence that anyone at Mississippi Department of Corrections has even bothered to verify whether the allegations are true. Just silence. Silence is a choice. And that choice tells us everything about institutional priorities. It tells us that prisoner rights rank low. That external accountability without enforcement power can be safely ignored. That the calculation is simple. Manage the media exposure. Wait for the news cycle to move on. And hope nobody follows up. Well, I'm following up. This story doesn't end with 2 phone calls and an article. It ends when those boxes get installed. When prisoners at Delta Correctional Facility can file grievances without fear. And not just there, but every prison under the MDOC supervision. When the Constitution stops being optional behind prison walls. Until then, I'll keep reporting. I'll keep documenting. I'll keep holding up the mirror until the people of Mississippi see exactly what their correction system has become. Because that's my job. Exposing the rot. Documenting the failures. Demanding accountability from institutions that would rather operate in darkness. The phone calls exposed the rot. Now it's time to see if Mississippi has the political will to clean it out. I'm Don Matthews with We the People News, and I'm not done asking questions. Thank you for tuning in. Share this message.
Hello? Hello?
Mississippi Department of Corrections.
Yes, ma'am. Can I speak with the commissioner's office?
This is the commissioner's office, sir. How can we help you?
I was calling to speak to somebody about the Delta Correctional Facility. I've got a friend in there. I don't want to actually disclose that person's name because they're afraid of retaliation. if that were to happen. But they do not have any type of ILAP designated program over there. She said that the woman sometimes will come by on a Friday. There's no ILAP box. I know because I'm very well knowledgeable in the legal field when it comes to that. It's in y'all's policy, and it's a constitutional right that is being infringed upon with that. And something needs to be done. She said there's no box so people can put things in advance. There's no grievance procedure as far as...
Hold just a moment. This is the switchboard. Hold.
Well, that's why I asked for the commissioner. Jesus, you said it was the commissioner's office. Waste my time.
I'm sorry, extension number 6013.
Department of Commission.
Yes, ma'am. So here's how we're going to do it now. I asked for the commissioner's office. You could have told me that you could have sent me there, but you said you were the commissioner's office. And I go through that long spiel to find out I wasted my time. So this is Don Matthews with No, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm with We the People News. I'm with We the People News, and I'm going to run an article on this. If Darrell Kane does not get on the phone with me or call me back before 5 o'clock, I'm going to run an article. Yes, ma'am. Who am I speaking with?
Commissioner Kane's office. How can I help you?
I know. I asked who I was speaking with. I just had a very unpleasant conversation on the phone. Who am I speaking with?
Who'd you have an unpleasant conversation with?
So you can't say who this is with the commissioner's office?
This is the commissioner's office. I don't give my name.
All right. Sure. Well, this is Don Matthews with We the People News. I'm actually preparing and run a story on something that's happening at the Delta Correctional Facility. And then the indifference that I was just showed on the phone by the lady at who picked up the phone, I asked for the commissioner's office. And you know what she told me? She said, this is the commissioner's office. So I go through the spill on everything that happened just for her at the end to cut me off and say, I need to send you to the commissioner's office. I'm just so she wasted my time.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you a news reporter, Dan?
I sure am. I'm an investigative journalist. And I was calling, actually, because I've got reports at the Delta Correctional Facility that they are not, their ILAP procedure is completely broken. That a guard, a lady will come by, and it's not even every Friday, it's just occasionally. It said there's no box to put ILAP forms in. There's no way, there's not even a box for them to drop a grievance on guards. It's something that has to basically get turned into a guard. Their mail, there's no mailbox for them to drop mail in. They give the mail to the guard at nighttime. I don't know if that's, honestly, I don't know about the mail. That may be all right, if that's y'all's procedure. But I know the ILAP, I know that's a constitutional right. I know that's the prisoner's right to have access. And I know that y'all actually have it codified in a policy.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to our communication.
You're cutting in and out. What'd you say?
Yeah, because I can barely hear you. It looks like you're driving in a car. I'm going to send you to our communication person that sits across from me. She's the one that's going to be able to, I can't really comment on it. Hold on.
No, listen. I wasn't calling asking you for comment. I was calling to report an issue.
Yeah,
and I would like to know that the commissioner's office is looking into that, because that's something that...
I'm going to have them look into the ILAP procedure over at Delta Correctional. It's not being done properly. I wrote it down already, so I will highlight it.
Right. And that's what I wanted to hear, okay? That's what the people need to hear, is that y'all are going to look into that problem and not just
I
ignore
don't know if it's an issue or not, but I will have someone look into it.
And like I said, the mail and reporting a grievance. No, and she specifically told me that there was no specific guard. She's never had any issues over there. But she also doesn't want to be retaliated against for reporting something she's missed ILAP basically every time.
So the ILAP procedure, they're putting, there's no box. They have to hand it to an actual correctional officer. Is that what you're saying? And they're the ones that
that's what I'm...
Okay, that's what you're hearing.
Right. What there should be, and this is something that it should be at every...
I will have them look into
right.
it. But
right. But all I was saying is they should have just clearly marked boxes. That's the easiest thing to make sure that if an inmate needs something, needs to actually fill something out, request ILAP, any type of request like that, ARP, that they can grab a form, and if it's something that they were reporting that they wanted to be confidential, well, now they're having to go up to a guard and ask for it, instead of they could have grabbed a sheet because it was in a box. All the money y'all pull in, y'all can't afford boxes of units.
I can't comment on it. I don't know what's happening with the ILAP procedure out there. I have to have someone look into it.
All right, well,
yeah, that's what I'm going to have someone look into it, because I'm sitting in
I got it.
I can't see what's going on at Delta, correct?
No, I get it. You're more or less turning it political from the standpoint of looking at it, you're having to defend. I'm not asking you to defend. I'm not putting you on any kind of, I'm not pointing any accusation.
I'm going to hand it off to somebody that will actually be looking into it.
I want to talk to Burl Kane.
He's not in the office right now.
Well, that's the thing. I would sure love to talk to talking to Burl Kane would definitely put this issue to rest.
Well, I'll pass him the message that you want to speak to him, but he's not in the office right now. But I wrote your number down. If he wants to speak to you, he'll call you back. But in the meantime, I will have this issue looked into and make sure that everything is done to protocol.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Operation Silence the Press.
So you're tuning in live for National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. We the People News.
Kidnapped quick, no warmer, no case. Camera smashed out, tripod in my face. First Amendment written, they erased, but the court said Cohen already placed. Hey! Operation Silence the Press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the marshals press. Broke my gear, trying to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, start me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press. August 25th, courthouse stone. Sign in my hands, I stood alone. Words from the past, Cohen's tone. Fuck the marshals, carved in bone. Hated news and badge with a snarl. Threatened my cam, said seize it all. I stepped back slow, obeyed the call. Then he lung slammed hard, I fall. Tripod cracked, my gimbal broke. Camera crushed and the government choked. First Amendment, bled in the smoke, but the record stands, I spoke. Operation Silence the Press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the marshals press. Broke my gear, trying to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, start me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press. Dragged to a cell, chest punched tight, couldn't breathe deep, heart raced all night, knock his arm back just to fight for air. Now he screams assault while I'm gasping there. Out tick slow, no sirens near, paramedics mock, no mercy here. Hospital cold, the truth unclear, delay in the jail, they jeered. Passed to Olivier, cuff cut bone. I asked what's the charge, he had none shown, just a hold for the feds. My rights dethroned, that's kidnapping law in a danger zone. 40 pages black, lies in disguise. I yeah, hit the scheme, but the scars don't lie. Laugh all you want, but the tape don't die. Operation failed, truth multiplies. Jailhouse freezing, blanket torn, no food served, constitution scorned, wrist bones twisted, pain reborn, but the fight lit brighter in the darkest storm. This ain't 30 days, this is principle strong. 54 years, the court said wrong. One man's lyric, another man's song, and I spit that truth in a world gone wrong. Cross they plots, they stitch and weave. Oxford to Galveston, tricks deceive, but you can't erase what the people believe. The first don't fade when the liars grieve. Operation Silence the Press, they plotted, they guessed, but the truth don't rest. It beats in my chest, from Cohen and Cali to Lafayette stress. Rights don't vanish cause the marshals press. Broke my gear, tried to kill my breath. Shackle me cold, start me near death, but the voice survives and I stand confessed. I expose what they fear. Silence the press.
Operation Silence the Press.
Silence the press.
So you're tuning in live for National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. This is We the People News. We're live outside the John M. Shaw United States Courthouse, where these tyrants with the U.S. Marshals Service think that it's okay to criminalize journalism and the First Amendment. Had bolos put out. I knew that there was funny business going on. Y'all want me to come in? Hey, they're trying to wave me in the courthouse. So he just waved me in. Should I accept the invitation? I think I should accept the invitation. Because I wasn't going to go in there. I was perfectly fine staying out here. But I just got an invitation into the courthouse. So let's go into the courthouse. I will never turn down an invitation such as that. But you locked the doors on me. But y'all locked the doors on me. Hello. After you. Well, look who it is.
Hey, man, look, I'm gonna tell you one time. Can't be in here to report it, you'll be arrested.
Okay, you called me in here. You son of a bitch, I was outside on the fucking sidewalk. You told me to come in here, motherfucker. I'm going outside. You called me in here, motherfucker. You baited me in here, you piece of shit. Fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. Fuck your mom. He literally waved me in here. He told me to come inside. Was grinning and then told me he was going to throw me in handcuffs as soon as I walked in the doors. A public building. Now they just asked for it. I'm on the public sidewalk by the road, peacefully exercising my rights. And he's over there smiling. There's a big part of me that wants to go back in and take the arrest. There's a big part of me that wants to go back in and take the arrest. Because that's entrapment and violation of my First Amendment rights. But I do know this. This is not their fucking property. This is we the people's. This is where they take an issue and they pour gasoline on it and they make it 10 times worse. 10 times worse. Okay? When they openly invited me up there just for me to go through the door and for them to try to threaten me with arrest. Happy National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. Here's what we're going to do here. I'll put this right here. Oh. Sounds recording right against the glass. Get the tyrants on the inside. Yeah, these are the real sovereign citizens inside. That's right. These are the real sovereign citizens, and this is how they get exposed. Okay? This is what happens when they go and criminalize free speech. When they criminalize journalism. That's what happens when they criminalize a camera of mass destruction. I'm trying to find a good place to put this down at. I wish I had another tripod. It's a collective effort of everybody to stand up for their rights. Where does it say stay off? So what gives you the authority to tell me a damn thing? You need to keep on stepping, and I mean it. Buddy. I ain't playing your games. That's why I say, happy National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. Go 10-8. Keep on stepping. I'm going to make you look like an idiot today. You might want to go 10-8. 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 You put hands on me, I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to tell you that right now. All right? You're going to get sprayed down. What'd they tell you inside? Huh? Well, I know you went in to go talk to them. Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Absolutely not. I haven't done a thing wrong. I'm not going a place. And you can't make me go a place. I'm not trespassing. I'm on public fucking property. Okay, let's see. I'll take the arrest. I'll take the arrest right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on with it. Come on with it. These people put out bolos for no reason, circulating my picture, criminalizing journalism, and when they try to silence our voice, we the people get louder. Operation Silence the Press. See, these people need to learn. Learn. And see, it starts right here with the 911 dispatchers. Because when somebody is actually well within their rights doing something, the 911 dispatchers don't even need to allow resources to get burned in the first place. I'm standing my ground. I'm holding my ground on this one. I'm not leaving. I'm not getting pushed off my spot. I'm holding my ground. I'm holding the line. Got to hold the line. When you're well within your rights, you cannot get pushed away. I mean, you give them an inch and they take a mile. Got to hold the line, folks. Got to hold the line. Huh? You need to suck my dick. I'm on public fucking property. Let's go. Let's go. No, you're not. I'm getting it. You ain't gonna touch my camera. You ain't touching my camera. You ain't touching my camera. I'm getting my camera.
You grab your camera and you move it right now. If you don't, I am seizing this camera.
Is that right?
That is absolutely right.
So what? So this door.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
This is an entryway. You can put it on the other side of the barricade.
I'm right. I'm fine right here.
2,
I'm
1.
really. Oh! Ah! 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 Ah!
Congratulations.
Good.
You have the right to remain silent. You can say you can, it will be used against the report of law. You have the right to consult an attorney, attorney, prisoner, questioning.
I want an attorney.
You cannot afford
I want an attorney. Attorney. In 1971, the court drew a line in Cohen versus California. Paul Cohen's "fuck the draft jacket" wasn't polite, but it was speech. Justice Harlan's reminder: one man's vulgarity is another's lyric. Wasn't just clever phrasing. It was constitutional bedrock. The First Amendment protects the raw and the uncomfortable, because power doesn't get to dictate tone. 17 years later, NWA pushed that line further. Fuck the Police was banned from radio, condemned by politicians, and earned the group a warning letter from the FBI. But it survived. Not because gatekeepers approved, but because courts had already established in cases like Cohen that profanity and anger are protected when they are political speech. The music didn't just survive. It became an anthem against police abuse, echoing what the court had acknowledged years before. Offensiveness is not a crime. Now in 2025, I found myself living that same fight in flesh and bone. My camera was my lyric, my audit, my anthem. Yet the U.S. Marshals tried to crush it with fists instead of bats. They treated journalism like contraband, seizing equipment as if recording itself were illegal. They dragged me into cells, beat me, mocked me,
tried to rewrite the law with violence. What they could not silence with statutes, they tried to silence with shackles. The irony is bitter. The FBI once threatened NWA for words. Today, federal agents brutalize citizens for cameras. Tools of transparency. Both reveal the same truth. When speech exposes authority, authority will try to call it dangerous. Through FOIA, I had already uncovered evidence of U.S. Marshals Service bulletins and BOLOs targeting me, documents redacted so heavily you could barely read them, but enough to show they were treating journalism and First Amendment auditing as crimes. Those documents foreshadowed what came next. And now, because of what has happened, those pages must be unredacted. The conspiracy is no longer theoretical. It is lived proof. On August 25th, 2025, outside the federal courthouse in Lafayette, Louisiana, Marshal Hayden Newsom ordered me to move my camera away from a locked courthouse door. He threatened to seize it if I didn't comply. I complied. I backed up with my tripod and 4K camera in hand. That's when he attacked. He slammed me to the ground. My brand new gimbal was destroyed. My tripod shattered into pieces against me and underneath me. My 4K camera was wrecked. He violently accosted me as if press equipment was contraband. They dragged me into a holding cell. That's where Newsom drove his knuckles into my chest while I struggled to breathe. My heart was pounding, 140 to 160 beats a minute. When I knocked his arm away to stop the pain, he threatened me again and again. Assault on a federal officer. They laughed while I gasped for air. They delayed calling 911 for nearly an hour. When the paramedics finally arrived, they mocked me, saying I was just trying to delay jail. At the hospital, the indifference continued. Dismissive, condescending, unwilling to acknowledge the injuries inflicted by federal hands. When I was discharged late at night, Marshal Newsom shackled me and handed me off to Deputy Olivet of St. Martin Parish Jail. I asked before he even pulled out of the lot, "What am I being booked on?" Deputy Olivet admitted there was no charge, just a hold for the U.S. Marshals. I told him directly, transporting me without charge is kidnapping under 18 U.S. Code 1202. He claimed he was following orders. I reminded him of Nuremberg, that just following orders is never a defense. He drove me anyway. At St. Martin Parish Jail, the abuse escalated. Deputy Olivet and a female booking officer nearly broke my wrist, hoisting me by handcuffs ratcheted down so tight I could feel my bones grinding. It was torture, plain and simple. They threw me into a tiny freezing cell with only a torn blanket. I had no food the entire day. I lay on concrete in pain from my chest, my wrist, my ribs, mocked by guards who treated my suffering as entertainment. And all the while, the marshals laughed about what they had done. Laughing at destroyed equipment. Laughing at a broken body. Laughing at constitutional rights discarded like trash. This is not law enforcement. This is not justice. This is a conspiracy. One already foreshadowed in the FOIA records. One that is now spilled into the open through violent arrest, torture, medical neglect, and unlawful detention. In 1971, the Supreme Court said the government cannot criminalize vulgar speech. In 2025, the U.S. Marshals Service tried to erase that ruling with fists, with broken equipment, with shackles and cold cells. But here's the truth. They failed. I'm still here. I'm still speaking. And I will not stop. Because history will not absolve those who hide behind just following orders. It will remember those who stood. This is the warning. This is the record. And this is not the end. Olivia, I need to know I need I guess an email address. I was trying to go ahead and get it printed out over here. I've got a legal demand that I need to serve on this jail, on the sheriff's department. So I guess if I can get an email address so I can send that right now, and I can go ahead and get. All right. Well, can you figure it out then?
Yeah. Only thing I could probably tell you would probably come back like 2 days when the office is open, and they can get you like an email or something like that, something you know what I'm saying? They could send an email.
Because y'all fucked up whenever y'all did what y'all did to me. You know that, right? Y'all fucked up bad. I mean, you knew that night whenever you took me over here, you knew you were doing wrong. You knew you were booking me into this jail on no charge. That was kidnapping. And I explained that to you. You brought me here. There was no charge when y'all booked me into the jail. How do you justify booking a free citizen into jail, into a cage, and then on top of that, the torture that I went through? I don't know if you recall. I'm sure you recall because you know how painful it was. You know how I was screaming because I was literally toted by the chain of my handcuffs with it ratcheted down as just about as tight as y'all could ratchet it down. You know y'all fucked up. And I'm holding y'all to account.
I can really talk right now because I gotta get home. So,
well, I sure wish I could have gone home whenever y'all played the fucking stupid ass games that y'all played. That shit's not cool at all. How would you like to get locked into a cage on something, not even getting charged? But because you wear a uniform, it's all right. You can get away with it. You motherfuckers need to start watching what the fuck you do. Yeah, you sure can. I'd like an email address. I mean, the longer that you drag this out, the longer I stay here. I need an email address to send a legal demand letter. And then I'll bring a paper copy up here Monday, but I want to send the legal demand letter. Okay, but I want to get it in somebody's hands tonight. I think I will, or I'll be out here. I mean, or like y'all love to say, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. It's up to you. I'm not playing this tyrant bullshit. Y'all tortured me. You booked me into jail on no charge. I have every reason to be fucking pissed. Hey, you got a handicap pass? You got a handicap pass for that vehicle? Oh yeah, the camera on mass destruction. Shut up, Delani. Oh wow, you can see? Tell him I'm on a public sidewalk, Delani. Tell him I'm on a fucking public sidewalk. Snitch. Well, I guess we're about to have some contact. Because of a snitch calling about a guy with a camera on a public sidewalk. Redressing his grievances with his government. Cry me a fucking river, pansy. Let's see who draws the short straw and gets sent out here. It should have been your ass. I'm on a fucking public sidewalk. Yeah, I'm on a public sidewalk. Your fucking bullshit ass directives don't mean shit to me. You're dismissed, motherfucker. Okay, right here, sidewalk. Right here, sidewalk, dumbass. Hey, right here's a sidewalk, dumbass. It's the only place I've been. Idiot. You're dismissed. Take your fucking ass inside. Oh, did you draw the short? We got the popo. Two of them. So you drew the short straw tonight, huh? All right. So let me go ahead. I know y'all are gonna want to know what's going on. These sons of bitches kidnapped me. They tortured me. I was August 25th. I was booked into jail on no charge. You cannot. Due process requires that in order to take a free man and lock him in a cage, there must be charges. They locked me up regardless on a hold for the U.S. Marshals because the U.S. Marshals violated my rights and broke my camera gear over me back in Lafayette and then just told them to hold me overnight. And that's what they did. But to make matters even worse, when we got here to the jail at nighttime, when Deputy Olivier brought me here, and I warned him this was kidnapping, I wasn't going to participate in my own kidnapping. They had the handcuffs cinched down so tight on my wrist I could feel my bones grinding, and they literally lifted me up by the chain of the handcuffs and toted me inside. That's torture. I don't know if you know how bad that hurts, okay? I didn't think waterboarding was so bad. You know, just the sound of it, that's probably worse than waterboarding, to be lifted up and carried by your handcuff. So all I'm wanting, and like I keep telling them, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. All it takes is a little bit of compliance. I need an email address to send a legal demand letter to, because the traffic, I got here a little late and I couldn't get it printed off. It was kind of a last minute thing because I didn't realize that my attorney was not going to file for this particular stuff because it's part of a civil matter. I need an email address because I want to send this stuff out. Look, this guy needs to go back to eating some fucking Twinkies or something. I don't know what his deal is. I want an email address so I can send my legal demand letter. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring a physical copy by at the beginning of next week. But it's important to me to make sure that this digital copy gets into the hands of somebody today so that it officially puts the hold on this evidence. I know, that's ridiculous. Yeah, because you know what? If they would just simply comply, I could have done my thing and been out of here. But now there's 4 freaking cops over here over me redressing my grievance after getting tortured and booked into jail with no charge. I know when I'm requesting. It's on the legal demand. But making threats, it's all on video. It's been live streamed. The whole thing's live streamed. That's a false report. He just made a false report to law enforcement. That is a false report he just made.
I'm with the city police, all right? The sheriff's office deputy is going to call.
I want him charged. That was a false report of a crime.
Well, I don't have any. Like I said, you said you have it on video. That's cool, but I don't know if what.
Okay, but because he's a law enforcement officer, that means that you just take his word right away when I'm telling you that this whole thing is live streamed. He's saying I was on their property. I've been on a public sidewalk literally the entire time. So, but you're going to take his word because he's a cock-sucking damn.
The sheriff's deputy's coming. They said it was a disturbance, so we came to back her up.
A disturbance, my ass. I have a right to redress my grievances after everything that happened.
But she's not going to help you with what you need. We with the city.
I want that lying son of a bitch charged right there. No, I want him charged. I want him charged. He said that I threatened him and that I was on their property, and both of them are lies. In fact, like I said, the live stream is going, We the People News. Go there, and you can actually go back and actually watch it right now to see that he lied. That's a crime. He needs to be charged. This is We the People News. Yeah, this is the problem, okay? Bad cops they're the worst threat to a good law enforcement officer, if there is such a thing. A dirty, crooked cop like him that will lie and try to get y'all to take his back. He's a corrupt piece of shit is what he is. I want him to go back to eating a box of Twinkies and freaking do something on his official time. He lied. He made a false report to law enforcement. I got this on video. Both of the things that he told them.
What's your name?
I'm not answering questions.
So listen, where, what you doing, what you trying to do.
What is that?
Okay? You're trying to get us to act out of pocket.
No.
Or out of way.
Wrong.
Correct.
Wrong.
Okay?
Do you want to know the truth? No. Wrong. No, you stop talking.
Okay?
Do you want to know the truth?
I don't.
Shut up. Shut up then.
Okay? You were on property.
I was on a public sidewalk.
That you probably had a legal and lawful reason to be.
I was tortured by this jail, and I was booked under no charge. I didn't make any threats.
So once you started making threats,
It's all on live stream. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all listen to a lying sack of shit like him. Look at the live stream. The live stream, it's public. People are watching it. They saw. Okay, then don't take his word because he's a fuck.
but does it very much seem like you want to communicate with me? No.
Am I being detained?
You're not.
All right, have a good day. I'm not answering questions. I'm not having any kind of consensual contact. You don't want to hear the truth. You want to listen to lies, so fuck off. I'm not on the property over here. That right there is a public sidewalk. Nope, I'm sorry. That is a public sidewalk. Making threats? What, okay, what are you going off of saying that I was making threats? Okay.
Your badge is probably a lot more than your live stream.
You know what? If you motherfuckers would do your job and actually look at the video, if y'all would look at it, you would see he's a lying sack of shit and you're a corrupt sack of shit. Go fuck yourself. What is your name and badge number, actually? 2221. A name and badge number? 1044. Name and badge numbers? Vincent 67 and Rumble 141. So he told y'all the lies? No, he told them. He told them and it's on video. He told them and it's on video. He told them and it's on video. Okay, he could have still. Fuck you. Fuck you. Eat shit. Yeah, fucking dyke ass bitch. I'm not answering any more questions because, yeah, but y'all don't care about the truth. If you did, you would have. If you did, you would have shut her the fuck down.
Sheriff's office. World Patriot News.
No, I have Patriot News, but We the People News. I'll go ahead and tell you. Look, you know what? Hey, immerse yourself in the truth, okay? Because that's what I publish is I back it up by truth, and it's, you know, I'm sick and tired of this shit going on where, you know, it's do y'all realize that it's people like her and people like him that make y'all's job more dangerous?
But you gotta think of this, that, sir, not perfect, but they're doing a job to protect everybody.
All right, let me ask you this question real quickly, okay? Do you not think that when I expose tyrants, the bad cops, that I'm saving lives with the good officers? Do you not think that there's a chance that if it weren't for people like me exposing bad people like her and like him?
But you're taking 10 minutes and you don't know what she's done. She's done
it doesn't
things out there
it
saved lives.
You know what? It doesn't matter. The second you turn your back and allow a crime to be committed, allow somebody's rights to be violated.
What rights of yours were violated?
I just told you. When that deputy lied and said that I was on y'all's, when that deputy, all right, let me swear an affidavit, and that way you can either take me to jail or take him.
What rights of yours were violated?
The fact that he commit. Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to tell you. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to tell you right now. So shut your fucking mouth.
What right? What amendment? I'm waiting.
It's called falsely reporting a crime.
He didn't report it. You did.
Bullshit. He fucking brought you over there and you even said that he told you that I was on y'all's property and that I was making threats. That's falsely reporting a fucking crime.
You weren't arrested, were you?
It doesn't matter. He falsely reported a crime.
No, he didn't.
You know, go fuck yourself. I ain't got a damn thing to say to you, fucking corrupt ass.
Who you need?
I need the sheriff if he's in.
You need the sheriff, like the sheriff himself, or is it a sheriff deputy?
I need the sheriff himself. I was actually the guy that was there the other day where the local police as well as the sheriff's deputy showed up outside of the St. Martin Parish Jail. What happened were major civil rights violations, and I need to speak to the sheriff about that.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer you to his secretary.
All right.
All right, sir, hold on.
Hey, Martin Howard Sheriff's Office.
Is the sheriff still in? What's that?
This is his assistant. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling actually. I need to speak to the sheriff. This is a major issue that honestly requires the sheriff's attention. This is Matthew Reardon. I was over there at the jail 2 days ago, September 19th. And the local police showed up as well as the sheriff's deputy. And what happened right there is a major thing. What happened at the jail was a major thing. Back on August 25th of this year, my camera gear was broken over me. I'm a journalist. I was outside of the federal courthouse in Lafayette, and my camera gear was broken over me by the U.S. Marshals. And I was passed off to Deputy Olivier at the hospital parking lot and told to be taken to the St. Martin Parish Jail. I told Olivia, I said, what
charge am I being charged with? And he said, I don't have a charge. It's just a hold for the U.S. Marshals. I said, no, you can't do that. That's kidnapping. Due process requires that in order for you to take a free man, lock him in a cage, there has to be a charge. I told him to get a supervisor, that if he continued forward taking you to the jail, that ultimately that's putting his qualified immunity on the line. He never did. We're on the way going to the jail, and I just know that this is something horrid and dark that was set up, and we're getting close to the jail, and Olivia says, he asked me, please cooperate when we get there to the jail. And I told him, I said, I cannot participate in my own kidnapping. I have a duty and an obligation to not comply on something like that. There's no charge. Get to the jail. He calls one of the booking guards. She's a bigger black woman. And she comes out there. My handcuffed down about as tight as they could be. And they pick me up by the handcuff chain, nearly breaking my wrist. I'm screaming in pain as I was carried to the front desk of the jail. I was treated absolutely horribly in that jail. I've never seen such a just complete disregard for constitutional rights, for civil rights, and it'd be a laughable joke. I was ordered released by the judge the next day. And I feel like I know they were up to something. Well, I went back to the jail 2 days ago on the 19th because I wanted to serve a legal demand to preserve evidence. So I'm letting the county know that any video from the Sally Port, from the booking area that captured this crime being committed must be preserved. I have it in writing. What I would like